Hey guys, welcome back to more AFK Arena. In today's video, we have the new Graveborn hero. They just put it out on Twitter like 20 minutes ago at the time of recording this. Dude looks wicked. I have always liked it. And like I said in my previous video, I said the cool thing about Graveborn is they always have like fun little gimmicks. And this guy is no different. The warden being like a prison warden, and he plays on that with his skills, which I really like, and it's Fane. I think this guy, he's just got a pretty cool design. I really do like it. I did say I was getting sick of old dudes, you know, in the dimensional ranks, but this is a bit different. I really like this design. His body, you know, with like the sort of skeleton feel, with the, you know, the green light coming out of it. The big like cat of nine tails type chains. I think it all looks sick. Like he's like the claw-like hands. Cool design, looking absolutely savage. So we will take a quick look at his skills, or what they have given to us in these ones. I always like to just wait for them to drop in the game and look at them in the game, because that's when you get a real good look at it. But I'm going to go to bed after this, so I'll be a bit late doing that one. But at least we can see a decent look. They're doing the update at a weird time. I think it'll be about 5 or 6 hours away from when I upload this. So it's a very weird time to do the update. But hey, here we are. Okay, so his ultimate ability. Fane uses chains to restrict the enemy with the highest attack rating. There's been a lot of these highest attack rating enemy abilities coming through characters lately. During the following seconds, the restricted enemy loses health equal to a certain percentage of Fane's attack rating every second and cannot move or use skills. So it's like a hard CC, but it also CCs him because I don't think he'd be using any other abilities. If the control effect prematurely ends, the enemy will be immediately dealt damage one time that is equal to part of Fane's attack rating, which ignores all of the enemy's defense. If a bone prison exists, which we'll get into in the next ability, on the battlefield, its duration will be extended. So basically, he just puts his chains out around someone, they can't do anything, and he does damage over time to them. Is the basic gist of the way that ultimate will work. And like I said, targeting the enemy with the highest attack, not too bad. Let's go on to the next ability. The Prisoner of Despair. Fane summons a bone prison on the enemy side of the battlefield that exists for several seconds. Enemies that leave the bone prison lose part of their max health every second. Curious to see how much of the max health this is. But shall not lose more than a certain percentage of Fane's attack rating. Enemies within the bone prison also have their energy recoveries reduced. So it's pretty cool that like if they leave it, they get that. So I think a lot of the fears, like I feel like this is going to synergize well with Graveborn, because depending on how big the prison is, if something like, you know, I'm thinking like a Hodgkin puts his ship up and fears everyone, Isabella gets a kill, fears everyone, Nara gets a kill, fears everyone. You know, if any of those like group fears happen and the enemies all scatter, then they're taking some big damage. I think it'll have really good synergies with the rest of the Graveborn. So we'll have to see how that plays, but also while they're inside, they get energy recovery reduced. So it's a bit of a play on what you actually want to aim for. But yeah, Fear seems like the easiest manipulation that I can see happening. Plus his fourth ability also has a play on it as well. Next up, Soul Impaler. An enemy outside the bone prison is pulled inside of it and dealt damage equal to part of their max health. I definitely think it's not going to be massive. I'm thinking it's going to like cover maybe like, you know, like the 2 front row and the back mid. That's the kind of range I'm feeling. We'll have to wait and see. But sorry, I got interrupted there. An enemy outside the bone prison is pulled inside and dealt damage equal to part of their max health and cannot move for several seconds. Damage dealt... It just says move, so I'm tipping they can still attack. Damage dealt to the enemy cannot exceed a certain percentage of Fane's attack rating. So you're getting max health damage when they leave it. You're getting max health damage when they get sucked back in by this ability. So it depends on how good this scaling is. Could be decent damage. Also, something that I didn't say, I feel like, I don't know if this is meant to be this way, but he's an agility support. I don't know if that support is a bug. Later on, he's got some support in his kit, like some healing, but I feel like he's not a majoritively support hero, but I don't know what else I would put him as. But yeah, he's a support. There you go. Didn't think it would be that way. But anyway, next one, Unscrupulous Jailer. think I said that word right. Gigantic rolling logs hurtle towards enemies within the bone prison, dealing damage to them, also knocking them backwards. Another way to get them out. Each time that damage is dealt, a part of the damage value is divided equally between Fane and his most injured ally and returned to them both as health. So this is the supportive part. If there are no other allies on the battlefield, the full amount of health is returned to Fane. So there you go. I think, I think for skill ups, this might end up being like whole team, or there'll be somewhere in his kit where it like heals the whole team for him to do classified support. Also on this one, I feel like this one will end up being drags 2 enemies in with skill ups. That's my feels. That's my feels. Like, because these ones will be the engravings. So I feel like he might have some pretty cool engravings that make it worth it, but this is just speculation, obviously. Next one, we have the signature item, Prison Master. Each time an ally enters or leaves the bone prison, they are granted a shield that has a value equal to a certain percentage of Fane's attack rating and exists for several seconds. This effect can be triggered once every several seconds. So if you go in or out, you get a shield. That's still solid support as well. So I guess, you know, this is why he's being called a support class hero. Duration of the bone, this is the furniture. Duration of the bone prison is extended for every enemy that dies within it. I think there's going to be more to this. I'm really curious to see this bone prison, like how big it is, how long it actually lasts, how long between him casting it again, and all that stuff. Because if you're dedicating your furniture ability to something, you think like it must be a bit slower at coming out or must disappear quick. I don't know. I'm still unsure on that, but something I'm definitely keen to see. So a quick recap. His ultimate, he chains someone, they can't do anything and they take damage. I'm pretty sure he won't cast his other abilities while doing this. Then we've got the next one where he summons the prison. And then if enemies leave it, they get damage based on max health. And while they're in it, they get reduced energy recovery rate. Then we have the Soul Impaler, which drags enemies into it and gives them max health damage. Then we've got the other one where the logs roll along and knock them out of it, which has that synergy. And then also he heals based on that. Then we also have the shields for allies. And then we also have the extended duration. So he's very much about playing around in that prison. So I'm super keen to see how the prison works and some creative teams that people will inevitably come up with. Making use of that, because I think it's going to be a bit of like interesting play. Like I'm thinking things like Queen and Chicken, obviously, but then, you know, like I said, things like Hendrik, who can, you know, fear those, not Hendrik, Hodgkin and the Graveborns that can fear the enemies out of it, the ones that make them terrified and run away, not something like Pharrell that makes them feared in the same place. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting things, but we will come back once he's actually in the game and test him out. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.